If your engine can't cross 100,000 miles without drama, it isn't on this list. And before you start typing angry comments about your cousin's Harley that blew up at 30,000 miles, let me tell you something that might hurt your feelings. Some of the most bulletproof engines come from brands you've probably been trash talking at bike nights. Today, we're counting down the 12 motorcycle engines that refuse to die, ranked by real-world mileage from actual riders who've put these machines through hell and back. We're talking about courier bikes with astronomical mileage, touring rigs that have crossed every continent, and that one Honda in your neighbor's garage that's older than his kids but still fires up every morning. We didn't just pull these rankings out of thin air. We dug through owner forums, talked to dispatch riders who racked up 60,000 miles a year, consulted with mechanics who've seen it all, and even tracked down that legendary Goldwing owner in Wisconsin who's put 1 million miles on a single engine. Yeah, you heard that right. 1 million documented miles on the original motor. Hit that subscribe button if you want to know which engines will outlive your mortgage. And stick around because number 3 on this list is going to make every Harley guy in the comments section lose their minds. Number 12, Suzuki DR650 single, 1996 to present. Starting in at number 12, we've got the Suzuki DR650's air-cooled single that's basically the cockroach of the motorcycle world. This thing will survive a nuclear apocalypse and still need nothing but an oil change. The secret? It's so understressed that running at highway speeds is basically like idling for this engine. Most owners report hitting 80,000 miles before ever thinking about a valve adjustment, and here's the controversial bit. Some riders are pushing 120,000 miles on the original piston. The weak spot everybody warns you about is the neutral sending unit that likes to leak oil at around 40,000 miles. But it's a $20 fix that takes 15 minutes. The maintenance secret that keeps these alive? Use conventional oil, not synthetic. I know that sounds backwards, but this old-school design actually prefers the slightly thicker film of conventional 10W40. The engine's so simple that third-world mechanics can rebuild it with a hammer and a prayer, which is why it's the unofficial bike of the Dakar support cruise. Number 11, Yamaha FJR1300 Inline 4, 2001 to present. Coming in at 11, the FJR1300's engine is what happens when Yamaha engineers decide to build something that'll run forever, but also haul ass while doing it. This 1298cc inline 4 routinely sees 150,000 miles in police fleets, and civilian owners regularly report 200,000 plus miles with just basic maintenance. The engine's party trick is its closed deck design with ceramic composite cylinder plating that basically laughs at wear. Now, here's what nobody tells you. The 2003 to 2005 models had a ticker issue with the cam chain tensioner, but Yamaha quietly fixed it with a revised part that you can retrofit for about $100. The real maintenance secret? These engines love to be run hard. Seriously, the ones that see regular high-speed touring last longer than garage queens because the engine stays at optimal temperature and burns off moisture. Keep the RPMs up, change your fluids religiously with quality synthetic every 4,000 miles, and this thing will outlive your grandkids. Number 10, Kawasaki KLR650 single, 1987 to 2018, 2022 to present. Number 10 is the KLR650's thumper that military forces worldwide trust their lives to, and there's a damn good reason for that. This 651cc single is so overbuilt that Kawasaki barely changed it for over 30 years. We're talking about engines with 140,000 miles that still have factory compression numbers. The cylinder is massive, with thick walls that can take multiple boring operations, meaning you can rebuild this thing 3 times over. The dirty secret is the doohickey. That's the actual technical term used by owners for the balancer chain adjuster lever that likes to break around 15,000 miles on pre-2008 models. But here's the thing, a $20 Eagle Mike doohickey kit fixes it forever. And then you're golden. These engines are so tolerant of neglect that I've seen ones run 10,000 miles on the same oil and still keep chugging. Not that I recommend that, but when you're crossing Mongolia and the nearest oil change is 2,000 miles away, it's nice to know you got options. Number 9, BMW R1200 GS Boxer, 2008 to 2018. Sliding into number 9, and this is where the comments section's going to explode, the BMW R1600 GS Boxer Twin. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. BMWs are expensive to maintain. Well, hold on to your lederhosen, because these air and oil-cooled boxers regularly hit 200,000 miles when maintained properly. The low-stress design runs at just 8,500 RPM redline, and the separate cylinder construction means heat dissipation is phenomenal. The elephant in the room is the final drive issues on early models from 2004 to 2007. But we're talking about the post-2008 engines here, which BMW sorted out. The motor itself is rock solid if you do one thing religiously: valve adjustments every 12,000 miles. Skip this and you'll be crying into your schnitzel when the exhaust valves burn. But stay on top of it, and these engines run so long that BMW mechanics joke about them being lifetime employment engines because they outlast everything else on the bike. Pro tip: get one with full service history from a BMW dealer, not some backyard mechanic who thinks a torque wrench is optional. Number 8. Honda FVR800 V4, 1998 to 2009. Number 8 brings us to Honda's FVR800 V4. And if you know anything about motorcycles, you knew this was coming. The gear-driven cams mean no chain maintenance ever. And the engine is so smooth that it barely vibrates itself to death like other designs. Police departments ran these things into the ground. And by the ground, I mean 250,000-mile territory. Here's the spicy take. The VTEC models from 2002 onwards are actually more reliable than the non-VTEC ones, despite what forum experts claim. The VTEC system has proven bomb-proof over hundreds of thousands of collective miles. The only weakness? The regulator rectifier cooks itself at around 30,000 miles. But a MOFSET upgrade for $150 solves that forever. These engines are so understressed that Honda riders joke about the first 50,000 miles being a break-in period. Find one that's been owned by a middle-aged commuter, not some squid who thinks redline is a suggestion. Number 7. Suzuki V-Strom 650 V-Twin, 2004 to present. Lucky number 7 goes to the Suzuki V-Strom 650's V-Twin, which is essentially the SV650 engine detuned for eternal life. This thing is the Toyota Corolla of motorcycle engines, utterly boring and absolutely indestructible. Courier services love these because they'll do 180,000 miles on nothing but regular maintenance and maybe a couple of valve clearance checks. The controversial truth? The first generation, 2004 to 2011 engines are actually tougher than the newer ones. Yeah, the new ones are smoother and more refined, but the original variant was overbuilt to the point of absurdity. The only consistent issue is the stator that gives up around 60,000 miles, but aftermarket units are better and cheaper than OEM. Keep fresh fluids running through it every 3,500 miles, and this engine will still be running when your great-grandkids are learning to ride. The secret? These engines actually prefer being lugged around at low RPM. Treat it like a tractor, not a racehorse. Number 6. Yamaha Super T&eacute Parallel Twin, 2010 to present. At number 6, you got Yamaha's Super T&eacute Parallel Twin that adventure riders swear by for good reason. This 1199cc twin uses a cross-plane crankshaft design that reduces stress on everything, and the result is engines pushing past 150,000 miles without major work. The engine is so reliable that Yamaha offers a yes warranty extension to 5 years because they know it won't break. Nobody talks about this, but these engines actually run better at regular 87 octane gas than premium. The compression ratio and ignition mapping were designed for worldwide fuel availability, and running premium can actually cause a carbon buildup over time. The maintenance item everyone skips but shouldn't: air filter cleaning every 6,000 miles. These engines gulp air like a marathon runner, and a clogged filter is the fastest way to kill one prematurely. Also, that crossplane crank makes it sound like a V-twin, which confuses the hell out of Harley guys at stoplights. Number 5. Kawasaki Versys 650 Parallel Twin, 2007 to present. Halfway through our list at number 5 is the Kawasaki Versys 650's Parallel Twin. which is basically a detuned Ninja 650 engine that'll run until the sun burns out. This engine is so reliable that Kawasaki barely changed it in 17 years of production. Riders regularly report 140,000 plus miles with nothing but routine maintenance. The plot twist? These engines actually last longer when you use them for commuting in traffic than touring. The constant heat cycling from stop-and-go riding keeps carbon deposits from building up. The one thing that kills these engines? Neglecting the coolant changes. Do it every 2 years religiously, or watch your water pump impeller disintegrate at 80,000 miles. Other than that, this power plant is so dependable that insurance companies actually give discounts for Versys ownership in some countries because they know you won't be making claims. Number 4. Honda CB500 Parallel Twin, 2013 to present. Number 4 might surprise you. Honda's humble CB500 twin that powers the CB500F, CB500X, and CB500R. This little 471cc engine is putting up mileage numbers that embarrass bikes with 3 times the displacement. Riding schools are seeing 200,000 plus miles on these with just basic servicing, and they're beaten on by novice riders daily. Here's what's crazy. This engine was designed with a target life of 60,000 miles for the average rider, but Honda over-engineered it so much that it routinely triples that. The secret sauce? The engine runs at such low stress levels that peak power happens at just 8,500 RPM. The maintenance hack that nobody mentions? Use 1 grade thicker oil than the manual suggests if you're over 50,000 miles. The slightly worn tolerances actually prefer 10W40 over the recommended 10W30. These things are so reliable that European courier companies are switching their entire fleets to CB500X models. Number 3. Yamaha MT-07 FZ07 Parallel Twin, 2014 to present. Okay, here comes number 3, and this is where the traditionalists are gonna lose their minds. The Yamaha MT-07's crossplane twin is proving to be one of the most promising reliability stories in modern motorcycling. While it's only been around since 2014, early adopters are already pushing past 80,000 miles with 0 engine issues, and riding schools that adopted them are reporting exceptional durability compared to their older fleets. The controversial part? This engine design is showing better long-term reliability indicators than most Harleys. Cost half as much to maintain and makes more power while doing it. The 689cc twin uses a 270-degree crank that perfectly balances power delivery and mechanical stress. The only weakness is the clutch that starts slipping around 40,000 miles if you're aggressive with it. But a $200 upgrade kit with heavy-duty springs fixes that. These engines are so good that Yamaha uses this same basic design in everything from the Ténéré 700 to the R7. Mark my words, in 10 years, we'll be seeing these with 200,000 plus miles. Number 2. Honda ST1300 V4, 2003 to 2012. The runner-up position goes to Honda's ST1300 V4. And if you think this is too high on the list, you haven't talked to the iron butt riders who regularly put 200,000 to 300,000 miles on these things. This 1261cc V4 is basically a VFR engine scaled up and detuned for infinite life. The longitudinal mounting means better cooling, and the shaft drive means no chain maintenance ever. The mind-blowing fact? Police departments and iron butt competitors have documented multiple cases of these engines running 250,000 plus miles on original internals, with proper maintenance being the only requirement. The bike's plastics might fade and seat might wear out, but the motor keeps going like the Energizer Bunny. The maintenance secret is almost stupid simple. Follow Honda's service intervals to the letter and use Honda HP4 Synthetic and keep the cooling system pristine. That's literally it. These engines are so reliable that Honda stopped making them, partly because owners weren't buying replacements. They just kept riding the same bike for decades. Number 1. Honda Goldwing Flat 6, 1975 to 2017. And the #1 most reliable motorcycle engine that'll last forever? The Honda Goldwing. But here's the kicker. It's not just the modern flat 6 models. We're talking about everything from Zalin Zart's 1975 GL1000 that hit 1 million documented miles in Wisconsin to Phil Steiner's 2015 model that already crossed 700,000 miles on the original engine. This flat 6 design from 2001 to 2017 routinely sees 300,000 miles. But even the original flat 4 GL1000s are legendary for their longevity. The flat engine design means perfect primary balance, virtually no vibration, and heat spread across multiple cylinders instead of concentrated in fewer. These engines are so understressed that they're basically coasting through life. Here's the kicker that nobody expects. The maintenance is easier than most sport bikes. The valve adjustment intervals on the 6-cylinder models are 32,000 miles, and even then, they rarely need adjustment. Alan Zart's million-mile GL1000, he went through multiple seats, wheels, and exhausts, but that original engine kept humming along with just regular maintenance. The secret that Goldwing owners know? Use conventional oil in the older models, not synthetic. The tolerances were designed for it, and for the newer ones, regular Mobil 1 synthetic at Walmart works perfectly and costs a third of motorcycle-specific oil. When an engine can literally run for 1 million miles, you know Honda did something right. So there you have it, 12 engines that laugh at high mileage and beg for more. From simple thumpers that third-world mechanics can fix with basic tools to the complex 6s that run smoother than Swiss watches, the common thread is this: proper maintenance beats fancy technology every time. The real truth about engine longevity? It's 20% design and 80% maintenance. Change your fluids when you should, not when you feel like it. Check those valves even when the engine sounds fine. Keep the air filter clean and the cooling system fresh. Do the boring stuff that nobody puts on Instagram and your engine will outlive you. If you made it this far, you're exactly the kind of rider who appreciates bomb-proof reliability over flashy spec sheets. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Drop a comment with your bike and current mileage. I want to hear from the high-mileage heroes out there. What's your secret? What maintenance saved your engine? And which bike on this list surprised you the most? And remember, life's too short to ride unreliable motorcycles. Unless they're Italian, then it's just part of the charm. Ride safe, wrench smart, and I'll see you in the next one.